and Gloucester Hartby back in the game. And Gloucester in again. Queens have a third try. It's a chance here for Bristol Bears. Excellent shoots.
It's lightning with the ball. It's a beautiful day here in North London, and just like this gorgeous weather, the Premier 15s is heating up. Bristol Bears travel to the StoneX Stadium, needing just 2 points from their final 2 matches in order to confirm their spot in those all-important playoffs. Whereas Saracens, today's home side, are playing for their wish of a home semi-final. Both teams were on impressive winning streaks, with Bristol winning 24-21 against Exeter Chiefs in the last round, and Saracens are on the back of a 38-15 win against the University of Worcester Warriors. I'm Jessica Hayden, and I'm delighted to be joined alongside Natasha Mo Hunt, who's even more cheerful than usual because yesterday Gloucester Hartby confirmed that they would finish top of the table in the Premier 15s. Lovely to see you. Congratulations. How are you feeling?
Yeah, no, epic. It's class. Like the journey I think the girls and I have been on, it's been a good few years to get to that point, and we're all just really proud, but we know the job's not done. Like there's a lot of rugby still to be played, so yeah, looking forward to getting stuck in next week.
It's all just, with the playoffs looming, it's all getting really exciting. There's lots to play for today, isn't there?
No, 100%. I think it's going to be a really interesting one. You hear from the coaches in a minute, but they're both saying about that forward battle, which is just key at the minute across the league. It's so important that you win that go forward. You've got the front foot ball to be able to play off, and both of these teams want to run. I think Sarah's are averaging about 750 metres per game ball in hand, whereas Bristol are on 1,000. It's mental numbers, so I'm looking forward to seeing some running rugby today.
Who should we be looking out for? Who are the biggest carriers in the squads?
Obviously Sarah Byrne, I think she's in a ridiculous form at the moment. She's been absolutely fantastic. Player of the match for Bristol Bears. I know on the TV they give it Amber, but Bristol Bears do their own one and gave it Sarah Byrne last week. And then you've got like Marley Packer and Poppy Cleo. They're household names now. They're England teammates as well. So yeah, really like players just in the form of their life.
There are some great players to look out for, but there are also some notable people who aren't playing today. So Hannah Bottoman, for example. Can you just talk us through the players who we won't see today?
Yeah, so Hannah Bottoman and Rowan Eaton-Marston, they're obviously serving their match bans at the moment, which are both huge losses. Really good front foot ball carriers, the people that you want winning those gain lines. You've also, there's a late change. Louise McMillan is actually ruled out of this, who's Saracens' line-out leader. She's massive for them in the pack. She's been phenomenal this season for them, so that is a huge loss. And on the other side of it, Claire Malloy, who for me was one of the best players on that pitch last week for Bristol Bears. So that's a huge loss in their camp as well. So yes, there's some quality still on the field, but it would have been interesting to see everyone in that matchday squad and see them really battle it out.
Today we're expecting over 1,000 fans to be here at the StoneX Stadium. I don't know how many of these Saracens fans might have sore heads from yesterday though, Mo. You were there at the final. What was it like?
Oh, great occasion. I think the atmosphere was fantastic. Obviously Saracens doing what they do best, and that's winning titles, and it was brilliant to see. I think most of the girls were there watching as well, which is amazing. Just that family feel about this place, and congratulations to them. That's a hell of an achievement.
Saracens, I'm sure women will be trying to match those achievements of the men. Now, earlier on, I spoke to the coaches from both teams, and while Mo runs up to commentary to start this game, this is what the coaches had to say. Hi Dave, good to see you. Bristol Bears obviously on a 7-match winning streak. How do you plan to keep that going today?
It's great to be on that streak first and foremost. I think we've got to be physical, like we said, probably the same sort of script as last week against Exeter. We saw what Saracens did to Exeter. They scored pretty quickly. We've got to stop their maul, their scrum, and then obviously the breakdown was where they're most impressive probably within the league. And we've got to bring our game. We've got to hold on to the ball. If we do that, we've got a good chance.
Good. And how have the team been training this week? Good spirits in camp? Yeah,
I think it's excellent. I think, look, that Exeter game did take a bit out of us. We managed the bodies on Monday. Tuesday we went for it again, and Thursday was a really good session, really fast, really accurate as well. I think it's about managing the conditions a little bit. There is a bit of a breeze here, but also, like you say, going for it. We want that width on the ball. We want to play, and we want to score some tries. We want to put Saracens under pressure. You know, I've watched the games back where they've lost here. It's not many. There's 4 or 5 in the last year, 5, 6 years. So if we're going to be one of those teams that comes to do that sort of job, we've got to make sure we bring the best account of ourselves.
Great, thanks Dave, best of luck today.
No worries, thank you.
Hi Alex, good to see you. Today to play for is a home semi-final. How important is that to the side?
Look, first and foremost today is to play for beating Bristol. You know, there's a lot of things that we have to do well to make that happen. You know, the consequence of that, or the result of what we earn from that, is still in a fight for a home semi-final. There's still a lot of things that have to happen, but if we can take care of business today, you know, we do that all that we can. As Lottie just said there, if we control the controllables, everything else that happens outside of that, we can't impact on that. But what we can make sure we do is we put performance in, you know, against one of the informed sides in the league. And
what kind of game can we expect from Saracens today?
I think, look, we're pretty keen around the physicality. You know, that's part of our DNA. We look to keep that ball alive and move it, but I think it's going to be whoever can impose their game plan, their style of play onto the opposition, you know, early and for more prolonged periods, will be the team that comes out on top. It's a little bit contrasting in the way that we play and the way that Bristol play, so it'll be very interesting to see who can establish their way and their methodology.
Great, thank you very much, Alex. Best of luck today.
Thank you.
Jess Hayden with Dave Ward and Alex Osterby there. A very good afternoon from the Stone X Stadium, home to the newly crowned men's Premiership champions and the reigning women's. We've got the penultimate round of the Allianz Premier 15s for you this afternoon, and 2 of the form teams in the league looking to continue that as we head into the playoff semi-finals. Champion Saracens are on a 10-match winning streak after their early season form issues, while 4th place Bristol Bears have responded to 3 losses in a row in February, with 7 wins on the bounce themselves, including that narrow win over Exeter last week. The sun is out, it's a bank holiday weekend, and this should very much keep you entertained on what is a fine afternoon in North London. This is how the teams line up heading into this penultimate round. A few games yesterday, of course. Big win for Gloucester Hartpury, playing in London, so Sale Sharks could go watch their men's team play against Saracens in that men's Premiership final at Twickenham. They will finish top of the pile. Exeter Chiefs have also played a couple of games. Less their win, of course, over Wasps yesterday, and Worcester against Loughborough was postponed. In the other game today, Harlequins are leading DMP. That game is currently suspended. But here this afternoon, we've got 3rd against 4th for you. It should be a really enthralling round. So here, just confirmation of those results yesterday. Gloucester Hartpury's big win, which confirms top spot, beating Sale Sharks. Exeter Chiefs, huge win at home at Sandy Park against Wasps, and that Loughborough-Worcester game postponed because of a lack of an ambulance. We'll bring you the latest on the Harlequins' scores throughout the afternoon. 19-0 up they currently are. 26-0 now, sorry, I've just been told. Another score for Harlequins. Let's have a look at the team news then. Saracens forced into 1 late change, as you've been hearing. Louise McMillan ruled out, Grace Moore restored to the starting 15. There are 5 other new faces, including one in force, the England prop Hannah Bottoman, out after her red card in that bonus point win at Worcester last week. Fellow Red Roses loose head Mackenzie Carson replaces her, with Sarries top try scorer May Campbell back in at hooker. There's a shift around in the pack with Georgia Evans unavailable. Fee McIntosh is in at lock. Poppy Cleal moves from the road to 8, and Sharifa Casolo is in the pack at 6. Ella Vivas, the final change at scrum half. She's making her 50th appearance for her hometown club. On the bench, the 37-year-old Kat Evans this week announced her retirement at the end of the season after 18 years and over 200 appearances for the women in black. On to Bristol, and following that impressive comeback win over Exeter, Dave Ward's opted for 4 changes. In the front row, Wales prop Gwyn Pears makes her 2nd start of the season. She comes in for Simi Pam, while 19-year-old Bryony King replaces the injured Claire Malloy at number 8. Lucy Burgess is named ahead of Kira Bevan at scrum half, with the final change, the Wales flyer Courtney Keat, that is, coming onto the wing. Delaney Burns is the only Bears player to have started every Premier 15s game, while Lark Davis is the league's top try scorer with 16. On the bench, Daisy Mays will make her 50th appearance when she comes onto the pitch. So still waiting for the 2 teams here. Final preparations done across the Stone X Stadium. Sunny conditions all around. You imagine 1 or 2 of these Saracens fans at Twickenham yesterday, as their men's team secured their first title with that 31st title since 2019. after that 35-25 victory over Sale Sharks. And in the sunshine on the far side. We will mention this, it's although the sun is out, and you might be able to see from the flags, quite a breezy day today in North London. From left to right from your picture once we do get going into the match, but certainly one for the kickers to think about. Holly Aitchison and Ellis Nosil particularly, but also a lot of that backline as well. You think of the kicking options at 12 with Amber Reid and Sarah McKenna. A bit of a flutter there, but I can promise you down at pitch side, it really is quite strong. Dave Ward mentioning it in his pre-match interview. We'll see how that affects the two teams. Alongside me, of course, you heard from Mo Hunt pre-match. Mo, let's get a little more of your thoughts, if that's okay. Saracens really got a stranglehold over Bristol. They've won all the games in the Premier 15s. Bristol did win in the Cup. Very, very different sides at the start of the year, which Dave Ward mentioned. But just in terms of Saracens, I mentioned the men's team there. The women's team are just almost like a winning machine. They have been across the Premier 15s era, and Bristol have really improved over the past couple of years under Dave Ward. But just in terms of kind of what Saracens bring, that, I guess, that mentality, that the edge that they have over just beating teams, is that something maybe different that they have over pretty much all teams in the league?
Yeah, I'd say so for sure. I think they have leaders all across the board, and they know how to win. I think so many people across their team have that extra edge, that little bit of bite. They know exactly what to do and say at the right times. And then added into that, they've got that stardust. You've got like a Holly Aitchison that can just throw absolute seeds in there whenever she wants. So they've just got it all for me. Very difficult team to beat. But when you do start to find those little chinks, you can get into them. Obviously, we had a really good win down here this year, and again, very different team. They were missing some of their key leaders for that. So yeah, when they're on form, when they're flying like they are at the moment, they are a very difficult side to break down.
I've got down here in my commentary notes, they have finished top of the pile in every single Premier 15 season. I know there was a World Cup year, you mentioned it there, they were without some of their stars at the start of the year. But at the same time, there does seem maybe a slight vulnerability in Saracens this year. They've maybe not had in other seasons. You mentioned your win here, but other teams have really been able to get at them sometimes.
Yeah, they really have. I think with Saracens, with all rugby, it's a simple game. You just got to go forward, and you've got to go forward more than the opposition. They're very good at it. They have a ridiculous forward pack down here. They're littered with internationals, and when you stop that go forward, that momentum, it becomes a very difficult game to play, and they're not used to playing on the back foot. So that is the chink in their armour. If you can get into them, which is why Dave Ward has alluded to it today, if you can get into them with that, then you can start to find those little cracks and start to take advantage.
Bristol Bears fan there with an England mascot on her back. The beers are flowing, the ice creams are out. It is very much that sort of day. I think if you're not enjoying some sport this afternoon, you're probably sat in a beer garden somewhere, or of course enjoying our Allianz Premier 15s coverage here on BBC Sport, BBC iPlayer, as well as Premier15s.com. Just a reminder of all the games, of course, for the rest of the season. A couple again in the final round, round 18, and then the semi-finals and finals with you on all the channels that you are watching today, as well as BBC Sport. Still awaiting the two teams here. A minute or so until kick-off. One or two of the faces for Bristol unavailable. Claire Malloy and Ronita Marston down in the tunnel, ready to welcome their team. There'll be a flurry of mascots, and there is just another sign of the win. That's probably a better flag to show you some of the conditions. The one pitch side with the blue Premier 15s flag, and the Saracens flag just behind it as well. There will be tricky conditions in the opening stages for both kickers and distributors. Still awaiting the two teams here. Over 1,000 expected this afternoon in the Stonex Stadium, which once we do go a bit wider, you will see they're without a couple of their temporary stands on either end, so behind the two posts. The wind whipping through, it's probably added a bit to the conditions this afternoon. You don't have those barriers stopping that North London wind coming through. This is though as well, you can see the bottom of your picture there, the athletics track. So summer athletics very much coming into season. This is a multi-use stadium. The main stand on the far side almost copied on this new side. The newest stand, as there is Ronita Marston, currently serving 4-week suspension. She will though be back for the playoff semi-finals, which with a point today, Bristol will confirm. Finally, we do see the two teams. Amber Reid, followed by Sarah Byrne, two of the standout performers for Bristol Bears this year. A couple of tries for Sarah Byrne last week in a game where she played in both the front row and the back row. As Ella Virvas, lovely moment for the scrum half on her 50th appearance, leads out the Saracens team. Hopefully she'll keep a better hold of the ball than she did in the mascot just then. Not quite keeping the feet. And the Saracens players behind her. The co-captains, of course, Lottie Clapp and Marley Backer, sharing captaincy duties this season. And really guided this team through that difficult spell post-World Cup, post-Christmas as well. Results just not quite going their way. But now back, fully stacked, fully loaded. 10 wins on the bounce and looking primed heading into these playoff semi-finals. Referee this afternoon is Charlie Gaither. He will be assisted by Jonathan Cook and James Pidding.
Yeah, I've got you. John, can you hear me okay?
Assistant referees on either side.
I'm Fiona.
Just a couple of minutes late after kick-off. What is supposed to be
Are we good to start?
2:30, but maybe the sun, everyone just enjoying some time. Back, relaxing in the change room, some extra fluids. It is a warm day. It's be a tough afternoon on the legs. This 4G pitch, of course, at the StoneX Stadium. So the final game of the penultimate round of the Allianz Premier 15s. This to round off your bank holiday weekend.
Yep.
Two of the form teams. The champion Saracens welcoming Bristol Bears. Strap in. Enjoy 80 minutes from North London. Snow still gets us going. Taken by Virvas, and a kick actually into Kelsey Clifford.
Okay, yeah, that's accidental offside.
He's going to go back for the kick on Virvas there. Not quite getting her bearings in the sun, hitting her own player. Going to be an early scrum and a put into Bristol Bears inside the 22.
Let's see it, Mark. Let's see it, Mark.
Hold your spacings,
It's a really difficult
please.
one, isn't it? As that ball's coming up in the eye line of that sun. Really a good opportunity now for Bristol. Yeah, Ella will be disappointed with that. She's not quite struck it cleanly, but as I said, really good opportunity for Bristol.
Set.
44 seconds on the board. What have they got?
Stay square.
Solid first scrum from the Bears. 8. Burgess to Snowsill. Runners all over the shop. One of those is Phoebe Murray, strolling in, looking to step again. Murray for the try line, stretches over. What a start from Bristol. Carved open from the base of the scrum, the set piece move. And Phoebe Murray strolls in for an 8th try this season. Perfect start for the Bears.
It's a lovely line and a lovely finish. All starts with this scrum though, set piece so important. Really solid from Bristol. Feet in the ground. Lucy Burgess digging for that ball. And there's just a deception on the ball. As Snowsill throws it, really hard line by Amber Reid that just sits the defender down, and a really good stretch and finish by Phoebe Murray. So often you see players try and pop that back and recycle the ball, but you've just got to go for it there, and couldn't have asked for a better start.
Snowsill, excuse me, Ellie Snowsill adding the extras today on kicking duties over Amber Reid for the first one. 5 points turns into 7, but here is this line again.
Really nice angle. You just see Amber Reid flash across. You couldn't really see her, she was running that fast, but just changing the eye line, defenders' eyes go with her, and that's what's created that space for Phoebe Murray, and a brilliant hard line from her.
What a start from the Bears.
Thank you.
Here against the champions. One attack,
Backwards.
one try. And they're looking to run it again, as they have done so many times this season. The carry meters across this Bristol Bears backline, really impressive.
Off now.
Dave Ward implementing this running game, and they've got some power in there as well. That's a huge push back in the tackle. Great response from Saracens.
Clearly out.
Stuck inside their 22 at the moment.
Okay, not now, thank you. Just take a step. Back.
Burns, the acting number 9.
Number 1, step back, please. Thank you.
Slower from
Use it.
Lucy Burgess, 22-year-old scrum half, also time on the wing for the Bears, but in at 9 today ahead of Wales's Ciara Bevan. Aitchison to Breach. 13 tries for the regular England winger, but he's been settling into a role at fullback for Sarries. Campbell, part of the England setup across the Six Nations for her former club level. There's another one, Kelsey Clifford.
Away now.
Wesley to her friends.
Play advantage.
Lost in the play there, and
Still in.
Bears have the ball. They need a scrum half. Now they've got one. Burns helps it on.
Away now, Black. Leave it. Thank you.
Burgess looking for runners.
Thank you, 8.
Ball, Snowsill just a bit deeper to Byrne. Here is Reid on the wraparound. Looking to run it for everywhere, Bears. Now Lovibond into the line. This real youthful backline. Ella Lovibond, 21, along with Courtney Keat, 24. Deborah Wills adding some experience on that far wing at 31. The former England Sevens.
Leave it, Black. Thank you. No, 8, go back. Carry on.
Really good ball retention from Bristol here. This is what they're so good at.
On the arm.
Very clever play from Poppy Cleo. I hate it when she does that to me, but she knows those rules so well.
Vivas again.
No,
kicking game not quite going to plan at the moment. That one charged down, and Bears back in possession. Looking to dart down the blind side. Herring there helping it on. Wills, loan from Worcester, along with Lindsay O'Donnell on the bench. The Warriors captain adding some enforcements to this Bristol top half effort. Snowsill again. Barwick round the corner. Murray trying to fizz it into Lovibond, who did well to hold on there. Two tacklers coming in on her. That is the 10-metre line. Byrne just had to stoop and gather that.
Away now.
Sarah Byrne has been at her brilliant best, one of the best in the world. And there is some space on the outside. Keat with the big handoff, trying to run through Breach. Just enough to bring her down. That's the 22. Again, looking bright with the ball in these opening stages. Snowsill fancies a dart herself round Clifford, looking for some options. Got the ball free. Just unable to find a passing player. Reid, Murray, Wills it off her wing. This is excellent phase play by the Bears. Under some pressure there. Pears with the carry in for Pam this week. Davis helps it on to Sarah Byrne. Half gets through the tackle. Just held on by the ankles. Quick again for the Bears. Reid. Back to Barwick. That is a knock-on, but the phase play from Bristol, they'll be so encouraged from what they've put on the pitch.
Here we see some real clever play. Poppy Cleo, she's just come around the side. As soon as that ball's lifted, you're allowed to grab the arm, you're not allowed to grab the ball. And just really smart play here by Snowsill. Spots a possible mismatch. Wesley does really well, Kelsey Clifford, to get back and make that tackle. Just grabbing her by the shorts, but really clever heads-up play by Snowsill there. It's just really good retention, isn't it, from Bristol? But you can hear Dave Ward shouting over my shoulder, stay patient, stay patient. When you're going through phases like that, when you're going edge to edge, it is so exhausting having to source that breakdown, 2 people in every single time.
You've got to make sure you're really clearly onside for me there. Okay.
It's killer that you've dropped that ball with all of that momentum and pressure.
Poppy Cleo just on one leg at the moment. Get inside the Bristol huddle. Delighted this opening 6 and a bit minutes. Well, we did see actually Poppy Cleo did head in before some of the Saracens players at the end of the warm-up. So possibly another issue just being checked at the Stoop in southwest London. 36-5, Harlequins are ahead at DMP Durham Sharks. That was a 1 o'clock kickoff, but a huge delay there because of an injury to a Harlequins player. Quins on for the bonus point. Still trying to chase down this top 4 playoff place. just waiting here with time off.
Sorted.
Yeah, here you go. We'll just
So here's your
replay
mark.
that first
No, he's
44
moved off.
seconds.
There's your mark there, okay, so stay left.
Just
Keep that
dropped
height,
on the
it's really
inside
good
of her
first
boot
scrum.
there for Ella Vivas. And then look at this line. As that ball plays, we're just playing Cameron Marley-Packer at the moment, but as that plays, such a nice line by Phoebe Murray. Really hard, straight through defence. Saracens
Really
will be
impressive.
kicking themselves.
Really impressive season, Phoebe Murray.
Set!
13 tries last year, up to 8 so far this. 10 assists on top of that, as well as Poppy Cleal back taped up, back doing what she does best, those curving, arching, bullocking runs from the base of the scrum, and also earning her side a penalty. And just need to get their hands on the ball. Saracens have barely touched it in this opening 7 minutes.
Edge of the line for me, mate.
It's just really clever play again by Poppy Cleal. I
Excellent
know I
line,
keep
please,
mentioning
wide.
her, but she is probably one of the best at the dark arts of the game. Just as she gets tackles there, manages to wrap Snowsill. You can see her holding her in. There's no way that Snowsill can get out of that tackle, earning her team a penalty. It's brilliant work.
Saracens have lost the line out though. Really seem to be
Move.
the coordination between May Campbell there and whatever the jumper was supposed to be. Louise McMillan, we've heard, has lost, is their main line-out caller. See how that will affect them across the course of the afternoon. Another knock-on by the Bears and a reprieve for Saracens. Another scrum.
It's a little bit spicy out there, isn't it? As that ball's gone, Ella Vivas just gives Anne Reid a nudge, lets her know that she's there.
Here's your mark.
Just the detail on the Bristol Bears lines. There's always somebody coming
Focus.
back at the ball and somebody going out the back. So
That's your mark there.
defenders
Okay,
have
so
to
set that,
sit and
please.
wait. They don't know where that option's going. Obviously with the try, that was a clean break straight through. So it's probably in the centre's heads, that centre pairing of Sarah McKenna and Sydney Gregson.
Smiles all round on the Bears bench. And why not?
Crouch.
Phoebe Murray's try, the way they're playing.
Bind. Set.
Out from Saracens.
Wingers
Aitchison
on.
looking for space in behind. It's a clever kick for Clapp to race onto. Difficult bounce for Lobibon to deal with. Clapp is coming through. All back three of Bears coming
Stay
back
up.
to try and secure this ball.
No, still in. No.
Clapp
40
competing, but Bears just about securing. A bit of space down the blind side. They fancy a dart. Here is the try scorer Murray.
No.
It is the intent from Bears. They do look to run it. If the space is on, if they can see it, they back their skills to execute it. Here's the blind side again. Cunningham this time with the carry forward, but not carrying hard enough, holding on the second row.
Black two's clear.
And this is far forward as Saracens have been.
Number 4.
And with one of the most devastating mauls in the league, you imagine this is only going one place.
It's outstanding work, isn't it? As Holly Aitchison puts her foot through that ball, I was
Please
thinking
use the line.
you probably need to keep this in hand. It's
How many?
15% possession versus
6
85.
scores.
But what I love about this is the work
Wait
rate
for
from
the
Lottie
R9.
Clapp. You can see her just head down, running straight arms, gets that ball back, she bounces
Ball.
back on her feet.
Ball set by Saracens. Campbell hitting a mark this time. It's crabbing to the right-hand side. Looking for the response here. The champion still going right. Needs some momentum forward, which he's got now. Referee sticks up his arm. Saracens respond. It is through the driving maul. May Campbell, I think, getting the pats on the back, coming away with the ball. What a season she is having. 21st try in all competitions of the campaign for the hooker. And they back their forwards, and it's probably one entry, the 22 for both. And in terms of clinicalness, excellent from Saracens. They know what they've got when it comes to the driving maul.
It's just brilliant play, isn't it? Really good setup by them. Working their way towards the post makes the kick easier. All for me comes back to Lottie Clapp's work rate though. Absolutely fantastic. Off the ball, effort on effort, bounce into your feet, give yourself the platform to go. May Campbell is brilliant over the ball. She gets turnovers all the time. Hits her line out on the money.
You're in your run-up drop goal.
7-all.
Unconventional there for Holly Aitchison, but she gets the conversion. We spoke about the win pre-match, the ball falling off the tee.
Yeah, sorry.
The foresight to pick up the ball and knock it over from the drop goal. Of course, a regular kicker across the Sevens circuit during a time with England Sevens.
Thought you were there then.
Here's another look at that try from a different angle.
No, I said to her,
You can just see Grace Moore as well, with the headband on, dipping down, trying to get her forwards going. That almost half squat to get the ball going. Just the patience and the tightness of that Moore. Very, very good setup from Saracens.
Snowsill goes deep again. Back to Vivas, to Aitchison. Probably thinking about the first couple of kicks. The scrum half.
10-metre line.
More the trusty boot of Holly Aitchison, who
Thanks, John.
obviously thrived in that
Sarries on the line,
flat
please.
number 10 position for England in the Six Nations, but some kicking game on her as well, the Saracens number 10.
May take a
She's
step.
an absolute baller, isn't she? She's got it all.
Front pod for Bears. Barwick up there. The converted centre. That's getting her hands on the ball. Sarah Byrne, a couple of rolls on the floor.
On there and dragged her. Thank you. Release, please.
Bears then looking down the touchline through Snowsill.
Edge of the line.
76 caps
On
for
the edge of
Wales
the line,
now.
please.
The Bears number 10. So experienced, 4 Rugby World Cups with the country. She's in from Lark Davis. Been enjoying her first season in the West Country. Recently signed a new deal. Don't know if you can hear Dave Ward, the Bristol head coach. He's a couple of metres away from us, but frustrated perhaps at a couple of their handling errors when they've got into decent attacking positions. Sarah McKenna in this 12 role she's adapted to this season.
Now. You've pulled her there.
Holly Aitchison.
Wingers on, wait,
2 or 3 of those per game where
Okay,
she
go.
dummies to kick, buys herself some space, and does launch one. Lovibond with the return for the Bears. Again down the blind side. As you can hear these windy conditions, they do favour Bristol Bears in this first half at the moment, so the wind is with them into Saracens' corner.
Step off 2.
So pick up there.
Let go of the ball is fine.
Just 1 or 2 handling errors from Bears, just not quite hitting their mark. That could be, of course, this wind. The longer passes, we saw a passing drill pre-game for Bears where they were really looking to fizz wide passes to each other, but the wider you go, the more wind and chance it has to affect on the ball. As Keat picks it up in some broken space. Big hit from Casolo. Number 6 for the first time this year. Snowsill looking back for Phoebe Murray. Hand in there. First one was a white hand according to the referee.
Yeah, you just see this breakaway from the Moor. Bristol feel a little bit aggrieved there that the referee was in the way of Amber Reed's pass. Amber Reed's catch, apologies. And then just look at this line speed. Textbook defence. Sarah McKenna and Lottie Clapp coming up, taking the space. As soon as that ball goes out the back, push off and take the next player. Again, you just see them hunting high on the inside. I think Snowsill's trying to say that came off Ella Vivas in the tackle.
Set.
But where we are, Saracens put in. What have they got?
Mentioned pre-game, if you're just joining us, as Aitchison floats one to breach, that Saracens have won every encounter in the Premier 15s era against Bristol. 36-5 win at Shaftesbury Park early this season. A game which the Bears were very much in for large spells, just the clinical nature that day of Saracens, as Vivas under a bit of trouble and picked up by Burgess, looking to race away from Jess Breach, but not too many players in the world game were able to do that.
On the arm.
Packer again on the arm. Clever play from the Saracens back row. We saw it from Poppy Cleal. Now Marley Packer to the same effect. Campbell looking for options, but shoves it under the jumper. Packer, great fizz pass from the co-captain Aitchison. That is clever. Lovibond coming forward. Again, the chase is good. Carson with the tackle. And then holding on. It's really clever from Saracens. Just that the minutiae of play, the experience of Packer, first with the tap down, then the pass, the kick from Aitchison, the excellent cover defence coming through and the line, and they win themselves a penalty.
I'm not sure what happened with Vivas there, but just dropped the ball. Lucy Burgess, first one to react.
White, edge of the line, please.
Really good chase back from Jess Breach. Brilliant work by Burgess as well to stay on her feet, to allow her team to get to her to support that breakdown. You just see, though, the two contrasting styles. As soon as Saracens get the ball, Holly Aitchison is probing that backfield. She's looking for that space. And the Saracens' kick chase is absolutely sensational at the moment, giving them this field position.
McIntosh with the take in the middle. Saracens a bit further out this time than their last driving maul, which they scored from. Lottie Clapp getting involved in there, as now is Sydney Gregson. Whole team effort. There's only 3 players outside of this maul for Ella Vivas to aim for. An advantage coming Sarri's way as well. And there it is.
There was a knock on there. We're going to come back. Let go, please. Thank you. Use the line, please, Bristol.
I think there's only one
Number
place
7,
this is
lifting
going.
the leg in the maul.
Guys, leave it.
It's a really good setup, isn't it, by Saracens? Nice and low, nice and tight. But what about that maul defence from Bristol? Very, very difficult to stop this Saracen pack going forward. They've clearly done their homework.
Well, that Campbell try was their 18th try from mauls this season. Bristol have got 15 themselves, so these two both know what they're doing when it comes to maul time. Great first shove by Bristol initially, but Saracens have regathered. Vivas trying to direct things. Clifford getting her hands on the ball under her right shoulder. Moore coming around there as well. Clifford on the wraparound, driving towards the try line. Davis now has some work to get away. The ball will come back. Campbell probing from short range, got so many tries like that this season. Vivas to Poppy Cleal, just short from the number 8. Short striking distance again from Saracens, and Marley Packer so good from that short range. The co-captain strikes again. 11 tries and 11 for her this season, and Saracens have the lead for the first time in this game.
It's just really good management from me. Saracens are playing the rugby in the right areas. Holly Aitchison probing with those kicks, as I've mentioned, the kick chase. And Saracens are fantastic when they get here. Look at May Campbell's feet going, really trying to get that leg drive going. Good presentation, good speed of ball. Most people would have put money on Poppy Cleal going over there, and it's just the speed that Marley Packer gets there. She doesn't wait for the support, she backs her ability to finish in those close areas. Really good work, using that body, just extending at the hips and dropping down to get over. She'll probably tell me off saying that was dropping down. Very athletic movement, Marley Packer, lovely stuff.
The finisher of someone who's having such a good couple of years in both international rugby, leading of course the Red Roses now in the absence of Sarah Hunter. We'll see if that continues under John Mitchell, the New England head coach, but her form at club level has been on form as a number 7 across the club and international game, as Aitchison just pulls that one with the help of Vivas, but it is a 12-7 lead for Saracens on the 20-minute mark. And although it may be just actually edging ahead in possession and territory, it is this clinical nature which has pushed them ahead.
Just as we see the try again, you've just got to beat people for that height, that body height towards the line, and Marley Pack is so good at doing that.
Aitchison, difficult one under the sun that for the Sarries fly half, and that will stay in. And Lovibond, frustration, such frustration. Big kick from Aitchison with this kicking game that we will see. Perhaps a contrast of styles there, the kicking game of Sarries and always the running game of Bristol. We'll see throughout the afternoon.
Hooker, that's going to be your middle.
Yeah, it's a really good take initially from Holly Aitchison above her head. Very difficult to do, and then puts her boot through it. Really good air time. Not much pressure on Lovibond. She needs to be taking those kicks.
Crouch.
It is very windy down there though, so I imagine that ball's moving quite a bit in the air as it's dropping.
Set.
We will keep mentioning this to you because the windy conditions will affect the players. As Aitchison fizzes one out. Great technique on that pass.
Tackle, thank you. More.
Gregson just wrapped up. Needs to get the ball to ground, which she hasn't managed to do. Bristol pleased with that defensive effort.
More. Scrum white ball.
I think that's 1-1. Heard the Bristol camp shouting crossing, and then I think I saw Sydney Gregson's knee on the floor, so we can just cancel that one out and call it a Bristol scrum. Maybe the right things happened in the end.
Okay. Thank you. Come on then, let's go.
You just see the missed timing there on Saracens, though. Obviously, Sydney Gregson hasn't had a lot of game time coming back from injury this year. Lovely flat ball from Holly Aitchison, fizzed across the front, and Jess Breach just running into the same space that Sydney Gregson was running into. Just the lines not quite matching up there. If they'd have got those right, there was a lot of space on the outside.
It's far side.
Quite right on this far side with Carson and Byrne coming together.
Shoulders up, not hitting down then for yourself. We need that elbow up, we can't be pulling down.
I think 5 of this 6 will have been part of England's training camps during the Six Nations, talking about scrum technique, trying to work out how they can get on top of other nations. Now need to put all that experience, all those little things they felt and learnt in training to try and get an advantage when it comes to scrum time. Bristol put in as Snowsill comes round to the blind side. Penalty goes the Bears' way.
Number 3, short and down.
Clifford, the one penalised.
Number 3 comes short.
Yeah, you just see Kelsey Clifford's shoulder drop. First one to hit the floor. Easy penalty for the referee to give.
Edge. No, on the edge, please. Bristol
Just on this engage, you see a little bit of body movement, and then Clifford in the black shorts, her shoulder just comes in and through, drops to the floor. Penalty all day long, that. My front row friends will be glad that I'm mentioning it as well.
Scrum half Mo Hunt's analysis of the scrum there. There's Bristol on the charge again. Gwyn Pearce winning that scrum penalty on her second start for the Bears, the Welsh prop. Snowsill in behind is Lovibond. Reed helps it on. Good pass under pressure as well as Wills comes forward. Bit of a mess at the breakdown, but there is a penalty. That's because there was a Saracens hand in there.
Black 13 on the floor playing the ball.
The one is Pearce, and now a chance for Bristol to head to the touchline, and let's have a see what their driving maul's got.
Yeah, Saracens top in the league for driving maul tries scored. Bristol second, so I imagine this is only going one way.
Yes, please.
There's just no need for that penalty on the floor, though. Gregson, just get out of there, do everything you can to show the referee you're working hard.
Here is the league's top try scorer, Lark Davis, 16 so far since that move from Loughborough. Ever more impressed considering she had a late start to the season, given a red rose of commitments, and here is that driving maul again. Davis in search of a 17th, ground to the left-hand side, and the try is scored. Bristol back on level terms. We spoke about the power of the Saracens driving maul, but the Bears there responding in kind. Lark Davis, who else? 17th of the season.
Yes, but then she was appealing for something else. Thank you, John.
Yeah, it's really good drills, isn't it, from Bristol? 3 dummies, up at the back of the line out. Get this in full force, throwing them out of the line out. Burns up, takes it, goes to work. You can see nice and low body angles, everyone driving, feet in floor. Really good ball transfer, and then Lark Davis, fantastic, feels the wheel go, dives over. Lovely score.
Snowsill looking for a couple more. 2 from 2 for the Welsh number 10, and that gives Bristol the lead again. 14-12 now. We expected a tight game. We said these are 2 of the form teams in the league. They're putting it out there at the minute. Just over half an hour to go as we see this Davis try again.
You can see as well that both teams have no interest in playing that ball out the back, because as soon as the maul starts to go forward, 3 of the back line are running in to try and add their weight.
See how tight it is in possession.
Timing of the run.
53-47 after a domination in the opening 8 to 9 minutes from Bristol. They're up in the 80s, but things have levelled out now, as they have on the scoreboard. Burgess, Lovibon, good hit there, putting the pressure. This kick chase from Saracens and the defensive line coming up has been impressive, and Bears, as they've done so many times this season, looking to run it from deep. Here is Deborah Wills on the far side, just bursting through 2 tacklers. Great run from the wing.
Ball's here.
Sarah McKenna is putting a shift in that wide channel.
Bears fancy themselves at the moment, just try to throw the ball out the tackle again there, but
Knock on,
this time knock on. But it is all about the intent with this Bears side. You see Deborah Wills down the wing again, running through 2.
Yeah, such a powerful athlete, such a great runner, isn't she, Deborah Wills?
So set left, please.
Ball transfer as well, trying to get that fend out.
Yes,
Saracens
quickly.
player, of course, Deborah
Okay.
Wills,
Time off, we just
for a
got
time on the
shoelace.
7th Circuit, Commonwealth Games and Olympics.
Good, okay. Time on, let's go. There's your mark.
I love the energy from this Bristol Bears team, just the opportunities that they create. Obviously, when you're further up the field, most teams will sit people in the backfield for that kick return, so there is space to go to, and Bristol really are breaking down Saracens. Just needed to hold on to that ball in the middle.
Set.
Virvas, McKenna on the wraparound is Virvas, helps it onto Aitchison, slight juggle, Clapp outside, it just lobs one up for Lottie Clapp, just unable to stay in.
Let go, please.
Good cover from Keats, and she's happy with that effort.
It's marked
Bristol
anyway.
drift defence working
It's
on
not
that
marked,
occasion.
Avery. Edge of the line, please, Black.
Yeah, it's a really lovely set piece, isn't it? Ella Virvas on the wraparound, Holly Aitchison, juggle, still gets that outside line, just tries to pop it through. Keats done so well to stay attached to Amber Reid on the defence and then bounce off and make that tackle, obviously using her friend the
Don't change
touchline
that
as
ball.
well.
Friend of the touchline, spoken like a coach.
Inside.
Always.
Sorry, Bobby.
Used in defence. Clapp underneath this box kick, running inside. The Bears chase is a good one this time. White shirt
Tackle
swarming
away.
all over Lottie Clapp there. Virvas wants a big runner. She gets one in Poppy Cleal. Double tackle
Away
on
now.
her though, just stops her on the gain line. And
Roll
not
out,
rolling
you're on
away.
that side, you could have rolled out that way. Not slowing the ball down, please.
Too happy with the defensive effort there.
Let's not go into those questions, thank you.
You can tell when you feel aggrieved as that player that's given the penalty away by your reaction as you get up. So my anticipation would have been that some kind of
Using the
Poppy
line.
Cleal's arm or hand was holding in Delaney Burns there, but the referee's right. You have other opportunities. You have to show that you're working harder than that. Again, another opportunity for Saracens to play one of their set piece moves.
Looking to use it quickly. Aitchison in the middle this time, and there is Jess Breach. She's broken the line, looking to use her pace now. Going around the outside, Breach, looking for the offload. Bristol come through.
Advantage.
So close, still advantage Saracens' way. Here is Gregson, looking to break 2 defenders and stretch for the line.
Short,
Just
leave it
short.
now.
Recycling the
Advantage
ball,
over.
looking to go over the top. Still with Saracens, heading towards the try line. There's the score. Grace Moore goes over. The penetration of Jess Breach at first, then the power game from the forwards, just battering the Bristol Bears line, and it's a third try for Saracens. And Grace Moore, a late call up this afternoon, goes over from close range.
It's just really nice set piece, isn't it? Obviously Sarah McKenna stepped into first receiver to give Holly Aitchison that wider channel to allow her to do that. Nice bump from Marley Packer on Amber Reid as she's going so hard to the line, and Jess Breach doing Jess Breach things. Lovely. I love watching her in full flight. Again, it's just that body height battle as well around that try line. You've got to be lower, you've got to get underneath. Brilliant finish from Grace Moore. The Jess Express is back.
Looked all for the word like Jess was going to race away there as Aitchison knocks over a couple herself. And well, what a topsy-turvy game we have in store here.
Yeah, it's just the patience when you're in that area as well. Sydney Gregson does really well. She knows she's not going to reach the line to recycle that ball and not get held up. Just the speed at which Saracens recycle and go probe in and around that breakdown.
Time to run them.
Two games between these two were tight last year. It was 17-12 here at the Stone X, 30-26 at Shaftesbury Park, and this one
Carried out.
heading for that sort of game at the moment. 5 points between the two sides, 5 tries in the game. We expected this try, we expected the form, given they're in, there to be a lot of points. Wonderful carry from Pearce, she's having some game. The Welsh loosehead. Reed now, this Bristol backline looking to try and click into gear again.
No!
Burgess, that one just coming out the back of the ruck. Here is Burns, just sits down Virvas.
Leave it now, go back, please.
Such a consistent performer, Delaney Burns. That hand coming in on Burgess again. Offside the call this time.
Before she's lifted the ball.
Playing on the edge. We spoke about Poppy Cleal and Marley Packer getting that hand on Burgess, just a bit too keen that time.
Yes, another frustrating one. Alex Ostery, I'm sure, will be really frustrated at 2 of those penalties. You know how good Bristol are from a driving maul. Luckily for Saracens, that kick's not the best. Still got a good 20 metres to go. But you just don't want to give them that opportunity. It's the same on the reverse. Bristol don't want to be giving away penalties anywhere near their 10-metre line because you know what Saracens are going to do.
There is that Bristol driving maul.
Same maul.
Mark Davis again. Reforming, resetting. 1 or 2 afters in the back of the maul there. Poppy Cleal just testing the durability of a couple of Bears shirts before they make it back into the maul. Resetting again. Burgess, Reed as first receiver. Thought she spotted half a gap. Burgess again to Snowsill now. Great footwork and clever play. Needs to get the ball down. Still the same way the Bears go. Cunningham there, just putting to mind about her options. Straightens things up. And to side a penalty.
Never clearly released that and taken the ball.
Packer and Carson strolling back 10.
Needs to release number 1 and not have her hands on the floor.
Snowsill's done really well there to just stay on her feet. I think the ball came out to her from Burgess. There was only one outside her, nobody else in sight, and so many black shirts. Brilliant bit of footwork.
Well, an easy 3 points for Ellie Snowsill, who's 2 from 2, but we spoke about the driving maul being a weapon for both sides, and Lark Davis keen to get the ball there off the ball girl on this near side. Keen to get on with this game. 7 metres away is the try line. Burns again the target, and again well set. Dave Ward encouraging his team forward as in come the centre support. Reed and Murray coming in. Brilliant driving maul from the Bears to the try line, and they have their third again.
Thank you.
Well, it's driving maul after driving maul from these two sides. A forward stream. The Bears again striking, and it looks as if Lark Davis again, try-scoring machine that is the Bristol and England hooker.
Yeah, it's just good arrows, isn't it? Right at the top of the jump. Delaney Burns outstretched. Again, really nice build. A little bit higher than the last maul, but it doesn't matter. The body height's 1, and then as they get that wheel, just take them away, straight through. Added weight at the centres again. You can see Sarah Byrne just basically dragging the whole maul through herself. Great finish.
Some game this. 35 minutes that have absolutely flown by.
5 minutes to go.
Snowsill looking to put Bristol ahead again. Good nudge from the number 10. Brilliant nudge from the 5 metre line. 3 from 3 now.
Okay,
and they do have this narrow lead, 19-21. Bears nudge ahead.
It's a great strike, isn't it? I did question the decision to go into the corner and not take the easy 3, but when you back your drill like that, you've got to do it. fantastic stuff, and a brilliant conversion from Snowsill as well.
Couple of minutes then for either side to get something to
Time it here,
head
please.
in to the sheds. As we just look there as how much the ball is used from both teams. Bristol carrying so much, only 400 metres to just over 100 from Saracens, but
There, 13.
you might run it a lot, but there are different methods of rugby. At the moment, it does seem to be this kicking game versus this running game. On show here for the Bears. Striking away from deep. Murray back inside. That's a great line for Lovibon. Offloads it again. Bears in full flow. Brilliant stuff as they're up to the Sarries 10-metre line. Burgess, Snowsill. Reed is deeper. Assessing the options. Just no one deep enough for the Bears inside centre. Burgess again. Snowsill. She's got Byrne inside. A great line from the tight head. Burns.
Away!
Bristol, you can just sense they've really got the bit between their teeth. They're fancying this at the moment. Not at all awed by taking on the champions at the Stonex as Murray and Reed combined. Still going Amber Reed. Offloads to Cunningham now. Back again, all just slightly unstructured, unfazed as Snowsill with the dummy. Breaks half a line, gives it
Back off Black, play on!
to Jenny Herring there. That's off
Away.
Black. Saracens now
Ball's
trying
out.
to secure the ball at the breakdown. These are lung-busting phases from both teams in attack and defence. Murray, smart hands to Reed as an overlap on this far side. Keat with the dummy, buys herself some space. Keat, tap tackle from Clapp, just bringing her down. Burgess, quick, Burns again. Brings and sucks in two defenders here, Bristol. Burgess crabbing across. Byrne, how much work has this prop got through in this first half? Unbelievable work rate. Reed now, distributor. Lovibond into the line, great defensive tackle that from Gregson lining her up. Packer trying to encourage her team forward. Cunningham sucking in a couple more.
No.
Burgess now. In it goes for Pears. She's got through some work as well. The Bristol props rampaging forward. Here's the other. Byrne. Murray.
No. You're fine.
You can just see the confidence in this Bristol side as having to bring it down to almost a walking pace there, Amber Reed. Burns again. She's got through some shift as well in his first 40. Burgess again. Deep is Sarah Byrne, direct route. Moore and Cleal bring her down. Snowsill. Round the back is Murray. Soft hands into Lovibon, looking to try and get that big offload.
Move. Ball's here. Leaving that
Pears.
one.
Here is Byrne. Delaney was coming back inside, but
No two.
she places it down. Still just inside the 22. How many phases is this? There is the big buzzer around the Stonex. So looking at the last play of the game. King coming in. Fitness levels from both of these sides as Pears up
No
against
seven.
her opposite number, Carson. Packer over the top of the ball.
Perfectly legal. Her legs were in blocking the ball from being pushed back.
Frustration from Marley Packer. Answers back to the referee and another 10 metres backwards.
7 anymore, you'll leave the field.
Another warning as well to Packer there.
1 not rolling, legs trapped in.
Kenzie
7
Carson
game values.
was the one penalised, just in a wrong position
No,
before.
the tee is on, you have to take shot at goal.
Packer went in and over the ball, and as the referee Charlie Gapers says, the kicking tee come on, so possibly Bristol Bears coaching staff there
We'll just take a step, please.
wanting to get the
Thank
final potential
Can you just
points
take a step, please?
of this first half, which has been non-stop, breathless, end to end. A brilliant advert for the Allianz Premier 15s. Snowsill to give the Bears a 5-point lead. 4 from 4 from Ellie Snowsill. and what's been a really, really impressive 40 minutes from Bristol Bears. 40 minutes that has absolutely flown by, and we came into this expecting a really tight game, expecting both teams to play, and we have certainly have that. 3 tries apiece, 2 for Lark Davis for the Bears, added to Phoebe Murray's first try. That was inside the opening 60 seconds. May Campbell, Marley Packer and Grace Moore for the champions. What a game this has been. 24-19. Bristol Bears have the advantage in that first 40 minutes. Get some reaction with Mo Hunt and Jess Hayden. And before we have a look at some of the stats, they're ready to go through what's been a really enthralling first 40 minutes. Mo Hunt has gone pitch side, and she is with Jess Hayden.
Bristol lead by 5 points at the break, and what a match that was, hey? I mean, it was a physical game at first, but then you think it's like a clash of styles. Bristol really bringing the physicality. Saracens looking for space a bit more in the backfield.
No, they really are. I've mentioned it quite a few times, but Holly Aitchison just probing that backfield, trying to find space. Obviously, they've got the wind in the second half, so I think they will utilise that a lot. But Bristol, some of the running rugby that they're doing is absolutely lovely, and it's really nice to see it so tight. I think we've really been treated today.
It didn't start as well as it could have. That return from the kickoff wasn't great, was it? But I mean, you can't really get much better than the try in the first minute.
Exactly. I think that's the start that you need against the Saracens team. You have to try and rattle them within the first 5 minutes, but you just see here really nice high kick from Snow, so I think she's having a fantastic game. And then Virvas just off the inside of her boot, really not a good kick. This is exactly what you want though from a strike. Straight away, really nice scrum platform, good ball, fizzed out, and just a deception on the running lines. There's 4 people at the line. Sarries defenders are sat down, they don't know who to hit, and Phoebe Murray, brilliant finish.
Her 8th try of this season, and she's having a fantastic match, isn't she?
No, she is. She's going really well this season. You just see the different angle. Obviously, it's a really difficult position, that pinch point. Sarah McKenna in that 12 jersey, when you're being loaded with 3 defenders, you have to kind of gamble and pick one, and really difficult for her to do anything else. Just a fantastically well-run move by Bristol.
And then Saracens got on the scoreboard just a bit later with May Campbell at line-out driving maul. Classic Saracens move, eh?
Yeah, it is classic Saracens. They're top in the league in terms of the amounts of mauls that they've scored this season, but brilliant setup. You see Grace Moore just keeping everyone nice and tight with her arm over the back there, making sure that they're driving towards those posts, make the conversion easier, and a fantastic finish in the end.
And Saracens' second try, quite a similar thing, driving the maul, driving players going over. I think Poppy Cleal got a go first, May Campbell got a go just here, push back. Poppy Cleal then goes in the second phase, but it's Marley Packer who's the one that finally gets over the line.
No, it is classic Saracens. I think we all know and love them for their forward work, and they've added loads of backs and starters into that, but it's just a really good finish. The speed at which Marley Packer gets hands on ball, it's a really nice angle. You see Virvas in there, she's trying to find her big strong ball carriers in Poppy Cleal. She does really well to recycle this. Holly Aitchison flying in to make sure they retain that ball, and Marley Packer doesn't wait for anyone else, she can do it all herself. Brilliant finish.
And then Bristol equalised then. A line out, they had a go at that as well. They said if Saracens can do it, we can do it better.
Yeah, exactly. It's really nice drills. Lark Davis, top of the jump for Delaney Burns. And again, just the build, really low body angles, everyone nice and tight, working in unison towards that line. Lark Davis picks her moment when to break off to that more. If you're going to break off, you've got to finish, and she does it so well.
Lark Davis, really difficult to stop, I imagine.
No, she really is, especially in and around that try line. I'd love to see the amount of tries she scored at the back of a moor versus everywhere else on the pitch, but she is one of the best in the business at that.
18 tries so far this season for Lark, 2 in this match. And then this is the next try then. This is where Jess Breach makes that lovely run.
Oh, it's a brilliant set play. Obviously, Holly Aitchison, that one channel wider to fizz that ball across. And again, similar thing. You've got people going at the line. Marley Packer actually bumps off Amber Reed, so she can't get to Jess Breach and make that tackle. Bit of ball retention, could have looked after, but doesn't matter. Falls back on Saracen's side. Sydney Gregson does so well to wrong foot Amber Reid there, go towards the line. And what I love is that she hasn't just died with that ball, she realised she couldn't make it. Real good ball press back, making sure that they retain possession. And again, same thing, Grace Moore beating the opposition. I think it's Murray in this instance, but she goes underneath her. It's really difficult. You can't get underneath that ball if somebody's lower than you, and that's exactly what Saracens have done in those areas.
And that cover tackle on Jess Breach then by Courtney Keat as well, also very impressive. And then this is the final try of the first half. This is Lark Davis scoring here.
Yeah, again, really good management. Bristol work their way up the field. They make sure that they're keeping hold of ball, they're keeping hold of possession all the way up. Again, not as slick as the last one. The build wasn't quite as good, but when they get that momentum, they all take it, driving towards that line. Brilliant stuff.
From in the middle. A really brilliant first half, wasn't it? It's just been so aggressive, the style of rugby, and as you said before the match, very physical.
Yeah, it really has. I think that's the thing. This for me, oh, it's gone. That replay there, that showed exactly what it was about. It was some really nice detail with Sarah Byrne taking the ball to the line. So off a kick-off, Lottie Clapp, fantastic defensive read. She's coming out to in, trying to shot that defender. She knows that Bristol are trying to get to that width. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you run your forwards at the line and pull it out the back. Sarah Byrne is coming so hard onto this ball. She goes at the line. Defenders have to stop and sit, which allows that space out the back for Eleanor Snowshill to run. And this is why they're creating so much space to run out of the 22. Really, really well executed play. Lovely little switch on the end. I'd have loved that to go the whole way. I think we could stop it there, but it would have been brilliant to see that go the whole way.
We're delighted now to be joined pitchside by Vicky Fleetwood, who announced her retirement this morning. How are you feeling? Are you emotional after that?
Yeah, I'm very emotional. Overwhelmed with all the lovely messages. But yeah, it's something that kind of everyone who plays, it always has to come to an end at some point, and I feel like it's on my terms. I've had plenty of time to deal with it, process it, and yeah, now it's time to kind of celebrate and kind of put it all behind me and look back at kind of what I've achieved.
Well, there's lots to celebrate. 82 caps, 4 Grand Slams and a World Cup winners medal. It's not a bad way to retire, but at what point did you make the decision that that was enough and you were going to call your time?
So breaking my ankle in October was really tough, so I didn't make the World Cup squad, and then I decided I'd carry on, and I was like, you know, one more season, and yeah, I was really enjoying the game. I scored 2 tries, and then yeah, unfortunate injury, and it was just one of those where I went into the physio room and I was like, I'm done. Like, I just, right at that moment, like, I knew. And then you've got time to process it, you've got the rehab time, you're in and around the girls, you've got people in your ear saying like, one more season, like, come on, like, you can get back for the end of the season. And for me, it was just kind of figuring that out, navigating that, and yeah, making that final call came, like, you know, not too long ago, but I've been able to have the conversations with the right people and put everything into place ready for the retirement.
But it's been a phenomenal career. We're just looking at some of your best moments here. I just wondered, what will you miss the most about rugby?
I think for me, just like it is being around the girls. It's the stuff that's off the pitch as well. So yeah, I'll obviously miss going and representing England and coming out and running out here at StoneX. But at the same time, it's those friendships that you make and the people that you play alongside. Little Mo, just being around them, like, week in, week out, working hard together, all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, I'm going to miss that.
Mo, what's it like playing with Vicky?
Oh, this girl has the most ridiculous engine you'll ever see. I think there's been an absolutely lovely tribute that the England Rugby have put out this morning, I think it was. So if you haven't seen it, go and have a look. But just the work rate that she's got, she's just a class human, bit sassy, so you always get a good one-liner from her, but just brings the energy in the room, and especially on the pitch, like, you just know that she'll be there everywhere you go. And it's been a pleasure, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. I love her to pieces.
Will you miss her now?
Oh, massively so, yeah. Massively. You're gonna set me off.
Oh no, I really don't want to.
It's my hay fever.
You said before the match you were going to bring down your sunglasses.
I know, I left them on the side. I thought if I've got them on my head I can just pull them down and be like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine, guys, they just fell down.
So what's next? You say you're going to focus on your coaching.
Yep.
What's the ambition there?
So myself and my partner, we set up an academy for boys aged 16 to 18 who don't get the opportunity to play rugby at school, and we set that up 2 seasons ago. We've slowly kind of built that and really enjoyed being part of it, and we're actually being able to extend that to another site, which is really exciting. So yeah, really involved with that. I've also just signed to be director of rugby down at my local rugby club.
Oh, amazing.
So yeah, I'm going to be having loads to kind of say on like what's going on down at the club, right through from like minis all the way through to the seniors, and I started coaching the senior men there last season, so I'm going to carry on with that. So yeah, I've got loads of stuff alongside my personal training as well, so lots of little bits to kind of keep me busy.
We should give you a shout out actually, so anyone looking for a personal trainer, hit up Vicky Fleetwood, you won't regret it, she's brilliant.
Have you done personal training for Mo? It sounds like a very personal...
No, not for Mo. Unfortunately, she has to listen to what rugby are telling her to do and how to train, but maybe one day, maybe in her retirement.
Basically, I've seen Fleeto in the gym, so I know that it would be brilliant.
And just finally from me, what will you say is your favourite memory, your best memory of playing rugby?
It's got to be that World Cup win in 2014. Yeah, Mo was there with me. Yeah, like obviously winning kind of the pinnacle of your sport, nothing can kind of beat that. There's been some absolutely incredible memories kind of along the way, and one that stands out is when we beat New Zealand in New Zealand in 2017. Like incredible, just having, it was all the Lions supporters. We played before the Lions game, and that will, you know, that's one of my fondest memories as well, but winning the World Cup has to kind of be top.
Oh, well, we wish you all the best, and thank you so much for coming down to chat to us today. I know it's an emotional day, announcing it just this morning, but you still came here and chatted to us, so thank you very much.
No, thank you for having me.
That's okay. Talking about magical England moments, the Red Roses won the Grand Slam against France at Twickenham Stadium in front of a world record crowd for a women's fixture. This is how that week went.
England-France is always a tough game. Definitely going to have to take a moment to take it all in on Saturday.
I think when you get to a game like this, when you sort of know the outcome of the tournament lies on it, you're always going to get nervous.
I'm just super excited. A record-breaking crowd at Twickenham HQ, it doesn't get much better.
Whatever happens in the build-up, I need to go out onto that pitch and nail my role and do everything I can for the team to get the win that we want.
Let's get excited. This is the last big push. Roses on red. Red Roses!
We have got plenty of players who can win one-on-one battles. That's what we want to create. Okay, there won't be many pictures where it's just space in front of you this weekend. But what there will be is one-on-ones, and I'd back us in most one-on-ones against any team.
Be true to what we've done. Yeah? We've built our game. Okay? Let's get on the park today. Pick our moments. Be confident. Do the things that we've been doing really well. Play the game. Don't play the occasion, play the game. Time for action. We'll do all that talking afterwards. Right? Well, let's just go, play the game, be the best version of ourselves, and if they're better than us, fair play. Okay? But I bet they won't win.
It's the 2023 Grand Slam decider. England against France.
Could hear there the thoughts of the Red Roses behind the scenes. Of course, O2 Inside Line, head to England Rugby's YouTube to see the full episode of that. And spotted in the crowd, the Red Roses and Saracens fly half, Zoe Harrison. Like she's, well, not quite sat in the sun there, in the shade, but we saw her doing some kicking pre-match. Obviously, long time out. Holly Aitchison has been thriving in the 10 shirt at Saracens and England. But good to see Zoe Harrison back on the men. Couple of looks at the statistics from that first 40 minutes. Bristol there, that long period of possession just before the half, shifting the possession stats very much their way. And you just look there, the carries and the meters made, forcing Saracens to do a hell of a lot of tackling, nearly 100 tackles in that first half. Penalties very, very similar in the territory, with that Bristol Bears possession very much on the up. So Bears up on the scoreline and up on a number of those statistics as well. They will be so pleased of that first 40 minutes. 24-19 they lead. 3 tries from Phoebe Murray in that first minute, as well as Lark Davis, a couple from the back of rolling mauls. These two teams very much the experts when it comes to driving mauls. Here is a look at the recent results. Lots of W's in that column, and we will see lots of W's in the Bristol column. If we see those in a second, it is 10 wins in a row for Saracens. Some really tricky moments in the opening parts of the season, without their Red Roses, of course, for the first 3 or 4 rounds. Heavy defeat here by Gloucester Hartbury, sticking out. They have since returned to, you'd have to say, champions form, and another load of W's there on the side of the Bears. As I mentioned, that is their 7 wins in a row. 1 loss at the end of February, a couple losses to finish January. And since then, all W's for the West Country side, and it's heading for another W at the moment as they return to the field. No changes from first sight, and very much, you imagine, more of the same will be the message from Dave Ward, because his team really on it in that first half. Stadium announcer trying to get the very decent crowd going here. We'll try and get a attendance for you at some point, but over 1,000 announced in the week. It's part of lots of crowds growing throughout the Premier 15s. Record crowd for Bristol against Exeter, 1,114. Nearly 3,000 here for Sarries Harlequins in February. Crowds beginning to come and watch English top flight rugby, and who can blame them with spectacles like this. A brilliant first 40 minutes. What has the next got in store? Holly Aitchison with the wind in this second half gets us going. More of the same, please, from both sides, and be very much welcomed. Great take there, and stumbling out of tackles, and Bristol immediately on the charge, stepping, spinning. Brilliant work from King there. Snowsill, Reed, Murray straight into where they left off, the Bears. Wills in off her wing. Sarah Byrne now.
Roll this way, thank you.
I hope a lot of these players have refreshed. They've taken on their caffeine gels, because they will have needed some fluids and some energy given some of the efforts they put their bodies through.
Tackle!
Warm day in here in North London, 20-21 degrees expected.
Knees to floor first.
With this breeze.
Sorry.
First penalty goes Bears' ways, but what a run that was from the kickoff, Mo, just to get them from their own 22 almost to the Sarries one.
Yeah, it was a really nice break. I think she caught herself by surprise, looking around for everyone, nobody in sight. Fantastic work. It's exactly what you want. Bristol have come out, they've had a really big start from the first initial whistle. They've had a really big start from that kickoff. Now got an opportunity to go 2 scores away. Huge start for them.
How many, please, Bristol? 6? 6.
6 the call in the line.
Time's on.
Mark Davis just checking
Bristol,
as some of the younger fans coming in. Big claps, big smiles. Real family feel to the audience across the Premier 15s and across Red Roses. Different features, different demographics coming and enjoying the game. Good pick up from Marie. That was a low pass for her to stoop and gather. Burgess got runners all over the shop. One of those is Megan Barwick. Davis now distributor. Phoebe Murray. Very classy game again outside Reed. the outside centre.
Ball's here.
Part of the England setup and trained a few times with the Red Roses. Yet to get any international honours.
Thank
More
you.
performances like this, you imagine, be on the radar of John Mitchell. Here is Reid again, big handoff on Clapp, and the offload out the back to Keat.
No, not now. Not on the ball
Sarri's
first, thank
competing
you.
and just slowing that down for half a second before the no from the referee. Stopped a bit of momentum. Snowsill, who's been excellent with both ball in hand and off the tee. 4 from 4 in the first half, including that late penalty.
Thank you, they went back.
Delaney Burns. Chopped down
On the
by
body, not the
Campbell.
ball.
Burgess. In deep is Sarah Byrne. Solo and Moore there had to stop the Bears' front row. Now Herring into the attack. More than held their own, this young front row. And here's another, back row that is. Bryony King now, the 19-year-old Welsh international.
Advantage.
Burgess, again, that attempted hand as she's about to pass, but that one just offside as Reid goes across the pitch. Great take by Keat, she really timed that well, the winger looking for the offload, Lovibon just unable to gather. Back to Barwick. Very, very close there, brilliant take in the air by Keat, and just as she got her hands away, unable to find the supporting runners.
Yeah, it's a really nice strike, isn't it? Nothing really on. I think the arm was out for advantage, but obviously the advantage was only for a knock-on, not for a penalty. Really good variation of play. You just see that offload from Keat around Lovibon's knee, which is really difficult to take when you're trying to run full pace towards the try line.
Crouch!
Scrum time in the second half.
You've got this right all game. Just stay left of your marks and stay in your slots, please. There's your middle. Set left. Quick reset.
Quite happy with some of the pitches he's seeing at that first scrum.
Crouch! Bye!
Southwest London. Harlequins, this game's supposed to kick off at 1 o'clock. Long delay there because of an injury. They're 69-10 to the good against DMP Durham Sharks. Bonus point win heading Quins' way.
I understand, thank you. Just take a step.
It's within 4 points of Bristol going into the final round, but Bears of course, for a win here, which would secure their playoff semi-final place. Really well kept in play there, not looking to just throw the ball around, looking to stop the ball going out of play as well.
On the body.
Simple mistake there and picked up by Grace Moore on the charge. The second row backing herself. Former Island Sevens player, big handoff for the corner. Grace Moore, brilliant. Has she got it down? No, just short, says the referee. Now he's given it.
She's bounced off of the leg.
Bounced off the tackler well. The recovery work was excellent. Moore just seemed to react quicker than anybody else on the field. Back to pace, a big handoff, and eventually gets the ball down. And first points of the second half goes Saracens' way, and we're back all square.
Oh, it's crushing for Bristol, isn't it? All of that territory, all of that possession. One little mistake by Pierce, who has been fantastic all game long. Just the tempo of the ball slowed it down, bounces off her chest. And as you say, Grace Moore, really good work. First to react, gets that ball transfer nice and early.
Thank you.
Little fend, Amber Reid nearly does an exceptional job, come from the other side of the pitch, but Grace Moore manages to use her body and roll back around. Really good finish in the end.
Holly Aitchison lining one up from the touchline. Never really spends a lot of time thinking about these kicks. Holly Aitchison just runs up and strikes them, and when you do that, who needs to think about it too much? Saracens edge themselves ahead, 26-24.
You just think again, Holly Aitchison, obviously that kick that nearly went into touch. If Courtney Keat had just left that would have been a Bristol line out. Instead tries to play it, there's a bit of pressure on the breakdown from Lottie Clapp.
Still central.
Bristol are working hard to get back behind that ball. An unfortunate unforced error, and then Grace Moore just backs herself. Look at that work by Amber Reid.
Very nearly. Commentators said Amber Reid because it was such a good tackle. Did not expect her to make it. Grace Moore doing well to react herself and finish it off.
Away now, White.
Bonus point secured. Second of the afternoon for Grace Moore. And Saracens now fancy a run from deep for themselves. Here is Corinne Grant. Haven't really seen much of the Saracens winger so far in this game. Aitchison onto Clifford.
Backwards.
Lee McIntosh trying to dive on the ball as a knock on there on the floor. Bristol themselves have a chance to respond. We've seen them respond a number of times, and there's also an early response from the coaching staff. Kira Bevan primed to come on, as is Simi Pam.
Let's go then, please. Set left. Come further left, please. Thank you. Yep, both of you need to stay left, otherwise we're not going to go in the right places.
This is a lovely opportunity for Bristol Bears to throw a strike. They're really wide, hugging the touchline. There's about 20 metres of space for Lucy Burgess to run into if they decide to go 8, 9, 15 down the far side.
Bind!
Awful lot of space to cover.
3 head on head.
There's Kira Bevan primed to come on. Saw the
Everyone's
shots of
in the
Leanne
slots.
Infante on. Ella Virvas's 50th appearance over for Saracens. Quick tap and go.
No, 7.
For the Bears. Stage of that first half, Bristol, when they were going through their first play, looked completely irresistible. Phase after phase that Saracens were struggling to deal with. Looking to get that going again. It's high energy play, it's the offloading game, it's runners from deep. Will take a lot out of you. Snowsill. Lovibond into the line. McKenna and Gregson lining her up.
That's 4 tackles, and they've driven Bristol back about 10 metres. You want to play around the outside, you've got to get deeper, but this Saracens line speed is really good. They're not putting anyone in the breakdown. There's numbers on feet, and they're just hunting high.
Flying up in the defensive line, Saracens, renewed defensive effort. That bonus point try seems to have given them. Snowsill.
Backwards.
Puts it on.
Clearly
handling it over,
backwards.
this time missed backwards. Here is Amber Reid. Striding to the right. And offload out the back again. Bristol need a response. They've been going backwards with ball in hand so far. Now it is the deeper runners with Murray. Lovibond inside to Wills. Just changes a hand.
Tackle.
Grant and Gregson up for the defensive efforts. It's really good work in defence at the moment from Saracens.
Yeah, I'm aware, John. Yeah, I'm aware before you even say it, mate.
Ball heading to the far right-hand side. Bristol player down. It's Amber Reid, a couple of physios just blocking our view at the moment. Again, Saracens flying up. This time Lottie Clapp. Look how far back Bristol have gone with the ball in hand.
Use it!
Spoke about a kicking game against a running game, but Bears seem to always be backing their running game as Sarah Byrne adds some impetus. Over the gain line she goes. A hard carrying rip in the tackle, and Saracens in possession. Cleal, Packer, just too far in front of Infante. That might be her first contribution, the knock on the replacement scrum half.
I'm aware, thank you.
Might have just been caught in the wind. So we have a look.
Off. White 1 and 9.
This Sarah Byrne run, but this was off the back of such an impressive Saracens defensive effort.
It's really good work, isn't it? Lovely, powerful run by Sarah Byrne. When she has that little glint in her eye, you know she's going over the top of you, but great stuff from Lottie Clapp. Just body on the line for her team like she does every single year. Like a stick in the spokes of a wheel, if you like. Brilliant stuff getting her down, but let's just talk about that defensive effort from Saracens.
push her out.
Bristol weren't going to kick that ball. They knew it. They only had one in the backfield for a large majority of that. Obviously, Amber Reid down, so it's difficult. She's the one that you go to. This is where it all started from. So what's that? 30 metres from the line. They ended up back in the 22 just because of numbers on feed, line speed. And the thing that's let Saracens down in this game is the discipline. They've given away silly penalties, which has allowed Bristol to kick those corners and get off the hook. Discipline was really good in this set, and they just managed to march Bristol back. Just unfortunate that Marley Packers tried to pull Leanne Infante onto that ball too much, too far out in front of her for her to be able to react. But look at this line speed. Fold round the corner, everyone doing their job, pushing through, pushing up. Great bit of play, great bit of defensive play from Saracens.
Crouch!
Amber Reid, happy to say, back on her feet.
Set! Leave it.
Snowsill to the left, Reid to the right. The kicking or distributing option. Bevan to countrywoman Snowsill. Onto Wills, again hit back on the tackle. Sharifa Casola in this debut season of the top flight has been huge. There's another dominant tackle, this time May Campbell leading the tackle charts for Saris this season.
Advantage.
Casola now in at the breakdown, stolen the ball, great work. Infante looking deep, one bounce, picked up by Aitchison, up against Pam. Out to Gregson to step away from Murray. All that confidence we saw at the end of the first half in Bears just seems to be coming Saracens' way now. Cleel on a rampaging run inside the 22. Quicker ball, Infante. Aitchison, so many options inside. McIntosh, that's a brilliant offload to McKenna. Better from Saracens. Infante back round, coming inside is Clapp. Clever line, but Bristol defenders were there. Infante with her hands on the ball. And we're off for a jog back and a penalty advantage.
Where are we at, James? Sorry. Yeah.
Really good tempo, isn't it, from Leanne Infante, just getting that ball moving.
Her legs to trap the ball.
Probing lines on the inside, testing those guards in place, making sure that people are staying lively in and around the breakdown. They just seem to have a little bit more of an edge about them at the moment, Saracens do. Half-time talk must have worked.
Whatever messages Alex Ossory's got on, they are getting through.
3.
Job, Cows.
Well, we said Amber Reid was back on the field, but I think still struggling with something. Amy Coles, the 22-year-old, authorising the last 5 games.
Yeah. Yes, Sarah's gone. How many? Thank you. Time on.
Line out. 10 or 12 metres out for Saris to the back pod, and McIntosh is the taker. Campbell cupping back round, trying to get her hands on her own. Through comes Saracens. Campbell with her hands on.
Leave it now. Ball is here.
Alex Ellis also in that ball effort as well as Grace Moore on for a hat-trick here.
Away.
She goes close, pick and go, close to the line. The Saracens forwards in the mood now. Centimetres, this for the Saris forward effort.
Leave it now.
The champions looking for a 5th. Infante. Packer steps away from the first challenge. Well wrapped up.
Ball is here.
Usually so dangerous from there, Marley. Slow at the base of this ruck.
Tackle.
In comes Poppy Cleel. She goes quicker. Burns meet her along with Davis.
Away.
Fante digs it out. Goes short instead to Carson. Good double tackle on her as well. Infante now in some numbers. Aitchison looks around the outside. Clapp picks it up, heading for the corner. Handoff, dives in. The referee is happy, and the Saracens co-captain does get the 5th. The forwards with the tight work in the middle. Clapp with the finish out wide. I think she might have injured herself, but it is a 5th score and a second of the second half for the champions.
Right, can we just come away and let the medic do her work?
Really good patient play, wasn't it? It all looked a little disjointed for me at the back of that ruck, and then 2 really nice passes. You see Holly Aitchison go to throw one, the Bristol defence come really hard up, just holds it, that delay, and then she has the ability to go over the top of everyone. Really nice finish by Lottie Clapp in the corner.
10. Sorry.
Lottie Clapp is still down, receiving some treatment. Scoring this try, but seeing this again. It's the forwards that suck so many players in. And Infante finally got the call to Aitchison. Just checked herself to get it to Clapp. Still some work to do here. The handoff and the finish, just bringing both of her legs close together to make sure she stayed in.
She's got time.
And Aitchison, another assist for her tally for the season. Lining this one up just short. So it remains
Sarah, just with the doctor.
7-point game.
Clear her burst. Time is off.
Good to see Lottie Clapp back to her feet now.
Replacing, carrying on.
I'm not sure she'll take further part in this game, but just good to see her back on her feet.
Time is off for the treatment for the Saracens co-captain. Don't often see many wingers captaining sides from out wide. Probably a thought process of Marley being a bit close to the referee, taking on co-captain duties, but so well respected. Now a USA international, of course. A few caps for England.
So now she's up and she's walking.
11, but qualifies
I'm just going to clear the physio and then
USA, the 3-year residency rule in terms of changing countries.
You're going left.
And taking advantage. And
I'm going to carry on. Guys, we're going to carry on, okay, because it's just tape.
Moving smoothly, but hopefully one she can run off. Saracens letting the ball bounce, almost criminal that they've got away with it. Through Campbell, now Ellis, the Canadian replacement. Infante. Packer for McKenna, she spotted some space. That's a really clever kick from Sarah McKenna. Bounced up difficulty. Bit of trouble as well, but Bears have gone to the touch this time. Got outside their 22, but not too far. And the whole feeling around this game just really seems to have changed at that last 10 minutes. It was so topsy-turvy, so end-to-end, and now Saracens just seem to have got a foothold in it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're utilising that wind, aren't they? Really nice shift kick from McKenna. Just as you pass that ball, she head up rugby. She's seeing that backfield with only one person in it. Manages to spot the space. Pressure back on. Keat had no other option but to hit the touch on that one.
Advantage.
Really good defence off that. Keep yourself in the game. You've got to come up with big moment plays like that. It's really good defence from Bristol.
And stolen now from Jess Breach.
Always under pressure.
However, going back for an advantage for Bristol. Dots it down anyway, as any good finisher does. Jess Breach just leaves the ball under the posts. Back for a Bristol scrum there. Just something needs to change. The momentum, the energy. Can one of their big players just spark something again?
She'll be here. Carry on. Step left and let's go.
Players all over the field. All over the field that could make those line breaks. So I don't think they'll be going inside themselves. They're going to stay true to what they do, which is play from everywhere.
Apologies for any language you picked up in the scrum there on our referee's mic. Very tight game, of course. And players trying to psychen themselves up, but any language you did pick up, apologise for that. Scrum again from Bristol. It's been a very even contest. And all that running that we did see.
Edge of the line. Edge.
Bristol now just playing more of a territory game. Snowser with a very decent touch finder there.
The scrum was always inside. Thank you.
It's a really nice option for me. Just take the sting out of Saracens a little bit. Great touch finder. Back up to halfway.
Thank you.
Make Saracens rebuild.
McIntosh under pressure, but she does well, and it's off the top. Aitchison, Breach, little shimmy in a step. Out to Gregson. Grant in off her wing. Gregson now supporting. Fante to Aitchison. Campbell hit hard by Pym. McKenna. Helps it on to the far side. Cleel, a little scurry. Aitchison
Advantage.
looking for Casolo. Now minus scrum cap, the blindside flanker.
Use.
Sarah Byrne into Casolo.
Advantage over.
Now there's the break from King. She's been busy in the loose,
Play
number
on.
8 today.
No!
Hasn't played
Leave it
there
now,
since
leave
their
it.
Gloucester Hartbury days in Bristol colours, but in for Claire Malloy this afternoon. Double try scorer Davis. Snowsill, just see in the outside that Saracens line still flying up. Really trying to hem Bristol in whenever they've got the ball in hand. Bevan trying to go in beside.
No, 50-22.
And behind. Another bounce.
No.
Come through there is
Leave it now,
the
White.
kick chase. Keat was under
Leave
it,
it.
trying to call all sorts of pressure.
Ball's there. 9 will get it, thank you. Carried
Trying to
back.
hem Saracens in a little bit. They do have this win behind them this half. Here is Coles. Wills now. There's a direct route, very direct Wills, that's brilliant. Little shimmy, little goose step, backing herself for the line. Deborah Wills for the try line, stunning. We spoke about a moment of brilliance, and that is it from Deborah Wills. Went direct through the middle, then the gas on the outside. A stunning, stunning try.
It's a fantastic finish, isn't it? Really, really good work. There were 4 Bristol players in that backfield. Saracens' defensive line off that kick way too tight. But sometimes you don't need anyone else. Just nice little shoulder ball. And Will said, give it me. I'll show you how it's done. Holly Aitchison coming across. Wills just backs herself, backs the pace. Goes around the outside. Lovely work, lovely finish.
Thank you, mate.
Holly Aitchison is very much no slouch. I think the initial pace that she had, Deborah Wills, and the goosey in the middle, superb work. Snowsill, perfect from the boot so far, and there is another one. She is striking it absolutely beautifully, the Bears number 10, and we are all square again. 31 plays 31.
Here's the kick. Ball got passed back inside, so Holly Aitchison can't hit touch. Just comes through that slightly on the outside of her boot, opens up the field, and when you've got a devastating back three like Bristol Bears have, you have to have width in your defensive line off those kick chasers. You have to come up, you have to stay connected, otherwise they'll do that to you all day long. Brilliant finish by Wills.
Of course, that is a bonus point try as well for Bristol, so they'll be coming away with at least a point today. If it stays like this, we stay all square, both teams get a couple of points.
Leave it now.
Ellie Mulhern taking that from kickoff, another replacement for Bristol. Quite good enough there. Sarah Byrne trying to get the ball back round, but backwards is the call. Simi Pan, not really seen too much of her in the loose since she came on.
Use it.
Another player capable of the spectacular in the loose.
I'm going to be asking her after how many carbs she had for this performance.
Stay on
if you
side.
haven't seen her Instagram, go check it out.
Use it. No, 7, go back, please. Thank you very much.
Bevan looking to get it deep. Breach really now settled into this 15 role at club. Just to see where her future is now Alex Ellis with the break, looking for numbers. Grant coming through, Ellis now trying to clear the ball. Aitchison, quick delivery, McKenna back inside. Gregson, back to McKenna. Infante to Ellis. Aitchison, Packer was very flat, very nearly got her hands on the ball. But Bristol now sending numbers down that blind side. Bevan.
Advantage is over, kicked away.
Kicking option was there, but there were hands on the ball, and now Cleel into McKenna, back to Cleel, brilliant! The 1-2 combination, McKenna and Cleel combining. Just completely on the same wavelength there. Cleel immediately points to her friend and teammate Sarah McKenna. Just a moment of pure quality between the two most intelligent players on the pitch. So clever. Results in clear, immediate response to that Bristol try.
It's really good work, isn't it, on the loop play? Questions being asked about the knock-on, why that ball's been allowed to play, but as soon as the ball, you put boot to ball, it's deemed play over. Charge down, I think, is a slightly harsh call, I'm going to be honest. But just look at this, lovely work by McKenna. She goes back inside at that defender because she knows Poppy's coming on her outside, opens up that space, punches through, gets her hands free. Great finish. I think Sarah McKenna has been brilliant today, both in attack and defence.
Such a steady presence at fullbacks for so many years, Sarah McKenna, but she's thriving in this 12 shirt as Aitchison adds a couple more. Another 7-point lead for the champions. A game that has very much flown by. We've got 15 minutes left. Which way will this go? So the changes now coming. Ida Alejandro on for Lottie Clapp. Naya Montiel as well, the Canadian on for Mackenzie Carson. What can the fresh legs bring to proceedings?
Hold in front.
Sarah McKenna, a distribution game, a kicking game as well. Filled in a number of times at fly half for Saracens. Such a versatile player, but really in the groove at number 12.
That'll do that, please.
Marley Packer wanting the fire of the Saracens defence, but they can't cope with Courtney Keat breaking the line. Courtney Keat looking to step round Briggs, brilliant! Oh, Bristol Bears! The response is immediate. What a game this is turning out to be, and Courtney Keat out of nothing again. How many times we said that this afternoon, tries from nothing, and that's actually her first Prem 15s try of the year, and what a way to score it from the Welsh wing, Courtney Keat.
This game is just nuts. Again, really good drills at the line out. Delivery not quite where it needs to be for that 9-10 combo for Wales, but great work from Phoebe Murray. Just give it to me, go forward. And then a lovely jump out. It's just numbers at the line. Bristol are sending 3 numbers back at the line. Saracens don't know which attacker to hit. Great work from Keat. And a really nice finish in the end as well.
Oh, who needs defence, eh? Just an attacking rugby on show here. Courtney Keat now, as we were speaking about the Saracens defence and how impressive it has been, but credit where credit is due when it comes to finishing. Seen one from Wales, now from Keat. Just fantastic.
Thank you.
Another good conversion, and we're back all square. 38.
No.
Great work from Packer at that restart, just to get the tap back.
Vantage, knock on.
Ball turned over though.
Great turnover, knock on first.
Charlie Gafer very much enjoyed that turnover, but there was an infringement just before.
Okay. Time off.
I know there's been a men's Premiership final. I know there's the Premier League final day as well today, but you'll do better to finding better sporting entertainment this afternoon than what you've seen so far at the Stonex. There's another look at this Keat try.
Yeah, it's just a missed tackle, isn't it? Fee McIntosh got a little bit sold out by her outside defender. You need to stay tight, make sure that you're not opening up that gap for Keat to run
number 6,
into.
please, is being replaced.
But it's a brilliant line, a great fend, and a fantastic finish.
Kat Evans coming on for Saracens. Potentially final home game for her this week, announcing her retirement from rugby at the end of the season. Such a stalwart of this club. Over 200 appearances in Saracens colours. Joined when she was 17. Nearly 3 years out with a leg injury as well. Made a Wales debut at
Time on.
30.
Stay left.
5. It's been a real stalwart of this club and come back from so much, but into the final effort here.
Crouch.
She won't want anything in terms of her retirement.
5.
Still a job to do on the pitch. Her team still going for the win.
Set.
Monica Bonner also on for Bristol. Keats has just scored that try off the pitch. Carry from Byrne there. Pam now in. Sunshine back out at the Stonex. Snowsill. Murray. Coles into the line. Bevan looking for options. Lindsay O'Donnell also on as the replacement, the Worcester-Loney. Bevan going deep to Snowsill now.
Wingers on.
Started inside the 22.
You're good.
Aitchison back in the pocket and reading it.
Onside there, number 9.
Straight down the throat of Snowsill. Dummies the kick, gets around Breach. Defensive line was good from Saracens. Just under 10 minutes to go. Double tackle from Sarries is good. It's been, as it has with the scoreboard, in terms of how much teams have been ahead, then behind, then ahead again. Saracens have had brilliant defence at some moments, the line flying up, and then at times Keat and Wills, the brilliance of the individual, just really tested it.
Go back. Thank you.
And now again, 80 minutes last week against
Advantage,
Exeter,
knock on.
heading for another 80 this week. Considering what she's doing around the field, it's incredibly impressive. The ball ricocheting everywhere. We're going to head back. I was going to say the game was slightly slowed down, Mo, but I think that's being a disservice to the first 70 minutes we had because there's been such effort out there. I'm not surprised we've maybe just cooled it down for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people that have been on the field for those 72 minutes are really starting to feel it.
Good.
We really have been treated to one hell of a game today. Just so even with the territory split. Obviously, Bristol Bears getting the nudge on that one.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Okay, use. Wait.
Saracens with McKenna taking it to the line. Aitchison to Breach.
Backwards.
Just spills the ball. Picked up by Grant. Fante.
No, thank you, 9. Don't guess. Who's here?
And Campbell wriggling through. Saracens, of course, trying to still catch Exeter in second place. They won a home semi-final. Seen so many times how important being at home when it comes to the last 4 means. Gloucester Hartbury are there.
You're trapping her there. She stood up.
Exeter and Saracens still battling. Saracens heading to Loughborough in round 18. Bristol away at struggling Wasps. Gloucester Hartbury v Exeter, the final BBC game of round 18 next week. Intriguing how that one will play out in the West Country. Still some work to do this afternoon though. Aitchison, bit of a no-look pass, a difficult one. Bears have picked it up, and Sarah Byrne hands on the ball. Snowsill spots the space in behind.
Now go.
Need the kick chase. Wills and Coles are leading it. Aitchison playing the game at her pace. Stepping around one, Breach helping it on. Here is Grant up against Murray and Davis. Heads back inside. Packer had the ball in two hands for just a second, but then took contact. Aitchison to McKenna. Cleel was supporting. Breach helping it on. Montiel now with the break. Looking for another big handoff round the outside. Back in. This is better from Saracens.
You stepped off.
Breach is the scrum half.
Leave it now.
Fante to Aitchison. Alejandro into the line.
Thank you.
Now Cleel, a bit more direct. The McIntosh. Lovely offload and lovely gather as well from Holly Aitchison. Just seems to be on a different playing field to everyone else, the way she's strolling around and enjoying her afternoon. Cleel now, this is good momentum from Saracens. Carries over the gain line, suddenly becoming just slightly easier. Evans now. Infante. Breach with the soft hands into Packer. That is a 7 shirt. We've just lost a top of the 7. Cleel now into these tiring Bears forwards.
No, you're holding her in.
All square into the final 5 minutes.
Away.
Saracens looking for that killer score. Close they go. Matter of inches away from the try line now. The forwards are well set. May Campbell heading towards the post. And they have an advantage as well. Bears just unable to keep themselves offside. Free play this for Saracens. Infante looks for Aitchison. Long loop out to Corey Grant in the corner. Well, Saracens have remained patient. They've worked themselves up the field. And how important could that Corey Grant score be? A 7th try of the afternoon for Saracens in the closing stages. Is that finally a winning try?
It's just unbelievable patience, isn't it? Both sides of the ball. Bristol Bears, fantastic defensive effort. But when you have that much possession, when you have that much go forward, something has to give. Again, another lovely pass from Holly Aitchison. She has been fantastic out of hand this game. Just how she fizzes it across the face of people.
1 minute.
Brilliant finish for Corrine Grant as well.
3:20. So that's not too.
Real breakout season for Corrine Grant. Aitchison lining one up from the touchline. Could be such an important kick considering Bristol's response a couple of times, but she's on the money as well. Great from Aitchison. It is the 7-point advantage. 45-38. As we have another look at Corrine Grant finishing out wide. Great work from the Scottish winger into this back three. Restart from Bears. Couple of minutes for them to respond. They've got the try bonus within 7, so within losing bonus point territory as well.
Thank you.
This would confirm a playoff semi-final place if it stays as it is for the Bears, but considering how many times they've been on top in this game, they will want more. Leading 24-19 at the break, 45-38 down.
No, ball is out. No knock on.
Good carry forward.
Use it!
Fante spotting some space,
Clearly
breaks it
lifted.
under pressure, gets the ball away.
Away now, leave it! Ball is here.
Ball available to Saracens, they keep the ball, they're on for the W.
Use it.
carry forward again from Saracens. So many times they're excellent at just keeping the ball, retention and smart play.
Six, out now. Ball is here, leave it now.
Bristol will be really disappointed. They've again lost to Saracens in the Premier 15s era, but
I'll tell you when.
You cannot have given it much of a better go than they have this afternoon. We're in the closing stages. As Poppy Cleo goes round the fringes, you can hear them asking Charlie Gaper when the time will be up. He will let them know.
Count is legal. No.
Our clock is not the same as the referees. We try and get as close as we can, but we're still not quite there. So we're dead. The referees is the most important. Ellis coming forward. Has to be now for Bristol.
Use it.
If they want to make something of this game. The counter-ruck from the Bears very nearly coming off there.
Holly Aitchison on the pick and go.
No,
sharing the workload.
And then it does come ricochet. Penalties for Saracens as the bomb goes round the Stone X.
That's enough. That's enough. Thank you.
One or two celebrations, I think, in the Bristol Bears' faces. Referee just trying to calm things down.
Off feet and played the ball.
Final play of the game.
The tee's on. Shot at goal.
And we're going to have a shot at goal. And this will take, if it does go over, Bristol out of losing bonus point territory.
Guys, can you all just please take a couple of steps back for the kick?
And while I know Holly Aitchison is quick with this kick, chance to give your Allianz Premier 15s player of the match, Mo.
Well, how hard is that to pick? I think across the board, both teams, everyone has played so well today. Some standouts. I think Holly's been fantastic with her passing, so is Sarah McKenna. Sarah Byrne on the other side of it, brilliant. Snowsill, fantastic game. I thought Cunningham went really well today. But my player of the match for the key moments has to go to Grace Moore. I think there were a few times where she just tucked the ball up and went through. Wasn't initially in the matchday squad. I think she's been absolutely everywhere today. So Allianz Premier 15's man of the match, Grace Moore.
As Aitchison knocks over 3 more points in what was a brilliant individual display, but we'll have a word with Grace Moore. What a game that was, though. What an 80 minutes at the Stone X Stadium, and what entertainment. 48-38, that absolutely flew by. Difficult conditions in the win for both teams, but really impressive performances, impressive tries. They are, we said before the game, the 2 form teams in the league, and they certainly showed that this afternoon. We'll go through the tries, we'll get a word from both camps as well, but the smiles on Sunday afternoon go a Saracens' way. 11 wins on the spin now for the champions, and they are a team coming into form at the back end of the season. As we look at some of the celebrations, we'll go through the tries with Mo in just a second. The smiles, as I said, are all Saracens, and then we'll get some reaction from the player of the match in Grace Moore, and also try and get a word with Alex Osterbury as well. Handshakes there for Dave Ward and Alex Osterbury, but full time of a game that absolutely flew by. Hope you enjoyed that 80 minutes. 48-38. Well, hope you enjoyed that. Let's try and go through all of those. Let's go, Mo. Hope you're ready for some analysis. And it all happened after just a minute. Phoebe Murray, first of all.
Yeah, we've seen this a few times, but we can watch this all day long. Really nice lines, great stretch for the try line, fantastic finish. Sometimes defensively you've just got to applaud the attack, and that's one of those times.
Oh, we saw a few driving more tries this afternoon. This one, May Campbell, her 21st of the season, crabbing initially, but Saracens so good when it comes to this part of the game.
So good. Grace Moore, I mentioned, just coming late to the setup. Obviously Louise McMillan initially named to start, running the line out, not something she normally does. I think she really stood up today. I see her in there just marshalling the troops towards that try line.
Marley Packer getting an almost obligatory try. She's on 11 and 11 so far this season. And how many teams have you teams. How many times have you seen this from her just a metre or so out, and it's the timing, the extension of the finish.
Yeah, it's really good work. Normally, if you're picking and going around that area, you wait for your teammates to be with you, so you add that extra weight. But when you're doing it at that speed, you don't need that. Really good finish.
And this is the first of a couple of driving more tries for Bristol Bears. Lark Davis came into this match leading try scorer in the Premier 15s with 16. This, her 17th. And we spoke about the Saracens driving more, but the position of the forwards here is so well set.
So well set, and what's really good from Lark Davis as well is she feels that twist as that maul starts to go away. She knows the try line, if she just shears off, it's right there, which is fantastic.
And this one, the first of two for the Allianz Premier 15s player of the match, Grace Moore. The break from Jess Breach looked all for the world she was going to finish, but Saracens kept it alive and Moore eventually going over.
Yeah, it was a lovely initial break. Love seeing wingers running in full flight. Just the work rate to get through. Great stuff from Sydney Gregson to snap this ball back. Marley Packer has a dig, and then Grace Moore again. Just really nice low body height, doesn't give up that fight, extends through.
Here's Lark Davis's second, a couple of Bristol centres in Amber Reid and Phoebe Murray will spot in just a second, adding extra impetus. This now an 18th of the season for Lark Davis as Murray comes in. Great work from the forwards. This put Bristol 21-19 up. Penalty as well from Ellie Snowsill, and they were 24-19 ahead at the break. Then the second try, this out of nothing really. A couple of handling mistakes from Bristol today, but Grace Moore, just brilliant individual quality to finish this.
It was a huge moment as well in that second half. Bristol came out firing, they were on top, they had all of the momentum. Really nice work to roll her body back around. Amber Reid nearly holds her up so well, but it's just the line speed as well from Saracens. Kind of come from nothing, but the reaction from Grace Moore backing herself. You see the ball transfer there to allow herself that fend. It's a really good finish. Really unfortunate, as I say, for Amber Reid after all that work, but fantastic finish from Grace Moore. Take nothing away from that.
And we get into one individual finish to another, a flurry of brilliant individual finishes. This was all set up by the forwards with their building work, and then Lottie Clapp out wide. Not too many better in this league.
She's so good at that, isn't she? She always seems to stand up for her team when needed. Lovely pass by Holly Aitchison as well, but this for me is probably try of the day.
Deborah Wills just siding through, the little hitch kick as well, and the gas, it was the brilliance to spot it, and then the finish out wide. Absolutely superb. She looks gassed herself at the end of it.
Really nice play.
This, we saw a couple of charge downs here, and then, well, we spoke about maybe individual. The 1-2 here, the Cleo-McKenna combo.
It's just the angle for me of McKenna. She's on the out to in, so she's coming back in at the defender, which means the defender gets taken out in the tackle. There's no opportunity to go back round and make that hit on Poppy Clearle as she comes back around.
From one long distance try to another, Phoebe Murray gathering on the scraps here, and Courtney Keach, 4 tries so far this season, but none in the Premier 15s. What about this for a line, and again for a finish?
Oh, it's brilliant to see, just that angle going towards the touchline, and then when she realises she's clean through, changing the angle, comes back towards the post.
Well, that was 38-38 before finally a 7th try for Saracens. Corinne Grant going over in the corner. Her 12th try of the season. It was a penalty right at the end for Holly Aitchison as well, making it 48-38. And Saracens getting the bonus point win. Bristol coming away with the bonus point for their 4 tries. But that is your lot in terms of 12 tries on an afternoon. 7 for Saracens, 5 for Bristol. Hugely entertaining 80 minutes. We'll get some reaction from the two camps. Let's start with your Allianz Premier 15s player of the match. Grace Moore is with Jess Hayden.
I'm here pitch side with Grace Moore, the Allianz Premier 15's Player of the Match. Congratulations, Grace.
Thank you.
You've had a phenomenal match. I mean, that felt like a physical, aggressive match. You must be exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, it was a real 80-minute performance. You know, we said we wanted to try and put in that 80-minute performance that we've been searching for, and I think we came out in that second half. I mean, fair play to Bristol, like they really brought it to us all game, and you know, it was really tight even to the last 8 minutes of the game. It could have gone either way. So yeah, I think it's a huge squad effort that game is.
2 tries for yourself there. How much do you remember of them? Because what I just said to you, 2 tries for you there, you looked a bit confused at first. 2 tries, that first one, Jess Breach run, and then you were the one that dotted over. What are your memories of that one?
I mean, look, like, it's brilliant to score tries, but like, it's a full team effort. You know, like, I couldn't get to where I got to without the girls. I mean, that last 30-metre try that I scored felt like I ran the pitch, but yeah, one that I'll definitely remember. I need to work on my finishing skills, but yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
Always looking for extras, right? Now, there's Loughborough Lightning next Saturday. That will be your final regular match of the season in the regular league. What are your thoughts heading into that week?
Look, we'll regroup, we'll refocus. It's going to be another 80-minute performance. We know how strong Loughborough are, and like, we'll be really hoping to get another win that week.
Thank you, Grace.
Can I just say one final thing? Sorry. Best of luck to Vicky Fleetwood and Kat Evans. You've had an incredible career, and we love you so much. Go out and enjoy your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace.
Great words there from Grace Moore, said much more coherently than me. Let's get a roundup of round 17 and the scores across the weekend. So the bonus point win for Gloucester Hartpury, that confirms their home semi-final. That game taking place in Richmond. The Sale Sharks women wanted to support the men at Twickenham yesterday. Exeter Chiefs, huge win for them against the bottom side Wasps. Chiefs sitting in second with that 5-point win. But Saracens this afternoon have caught them up. They're just 4 points behind going into the final weekend. A 5-point win for them, 45-38 here at the StoneX Stadium. And down at the Twickenham Stoop, 5th place Harlequins, big winners over DMP Durham Sharks. The Worcester at Loughborough Lightning, was postponed. So this is how it looks heading into round 18. Gloucester Hartpury top of the pile with that home semi-final. Exeter Chiefs very much in the hunt for this top 4 semi-final playoff place. However, very tight heading into the last weekend. Exeter go to Gloucester Hartpury on the final day. Saracens travelling to Loughborough. Both those games will be available on Premier 15's channels. Bristol Bears, confirmation then this afternoon that they will be parts of the playoff semi-finals. Excellent work from Dave Ward's side. And this is what is coming up over the next few weekends on England Rugby channels. It's the County and Under-20 National Finals next weekend. That match I just mentioned, Gloucester Hartpury against Exeter, that is available on BBC Sports channels as well as BBC iPlayer and Premier15s.com, with Loughborough against Saracens also on Premier15s.com. Then the semi-finals and finals on BT Sports, as well as the final, both of those games, as well as the final on BBC Sport as well, and Premier15s.com. We've very much got you covered. And just a reminder of this final weekend, though, how it sets up that big 1v2. What a game that should be. Gloucester Hartpury already got a home semi-final. How will they line up for that one? And then Loughborough Lightning, really difficult season for the East Midlands side at Franklin's Gardens against Saracens. And still permutations across the league as well, looking to try and finish as high as possible. Wasps and DMP Durham Sharks will be playing their final game of the Premier 15s, of course, as they leave the franchise system. Let's get a bit more reaction from pitchside and the winners this afternoon. The head coach, Alex Osterbury, is headed down pitchside to join Mo Hunt and Jess Hayden.
Alex, thank you very much for joining us. What are your reactions to that match?
Yeah, really pleased. Second half I thought we had more of our identity about us, defended a lot better for the vast majority of it. But yeah, really pleased, really proud of the team, because again, it's a side that, they're in great form, ask a lot of questions of us. We found a way, and ultimately to come away with a bonus point win gives us a chance that home semi-final. And if Mo and Erlock can sort it out next week, we've got even better chance.
It looked like a really difficult match at times. It was so close. I mean, what message were you trying to get through to the players?
I just thought we had to be a little bit more physical, stay in tackle a little bit longer, because if you allow Bristol speed the ball, and they've got some exciting backs. In fact, they throw the ball around using players in very different ways, and we had to try to stop that. And at times we did a really good job of that, and then in the first half we didn't, and we gave them a lot of opportunity, almost too much respect with ball in air and ball in hand. So yeah, to find a way was very pleasing.
The crowd here have been fantastic. You've had around 1,000 spectators here today. Does it make a difference to have a big crowd here for a home match?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you've undersold. I got told a little bit more than that. But yeah, it's an electric atmosphere. It's brilliant cheering. There's a real buzz at the club, not just for us, but obviously with the success yesterday as well. So the momentum's building, and to have that support in tight games like that, it just gives you that little bit of boost, that little bit of energy when you look into the well. So absolutely fantastic.
What is it about, I'll jump in here, first of all, amazing game, we were really treated to it, but what is it about the Saracens way that you just always seem to find that way to win? Is it the players, is it what you do backroom staff?
I'd like to take all the credit, but it's the players. They're really competitive, they're driven, and when you're striving to be, they say the best player you can be, the best team you can be, you find ways to challenge yourselves, and I think almost the bigger the challenge, the more we see them bounce. And they're a fantastic group to work with. Don't get me wrong, they've got some interesting challenges, but you wouldn't wish to work with a better group. Competitive, apply themselves, physical, and when it gets tough, when there's questions being asked of them, more often than not they stand up, and that's great credit to them.
The final match of the regular season will be Loughborough Lightning for you next week. What are you going to be trying to get into your players before that match?
Home semi-final. We got to take care of business. So that is making sure that we perform against another side that like to move the ball, throw it around. They're going to ask different questions. They've got a lot of playmakers that are real attacking threats. So we've got to make sure that we come to the party, that we perform, and that we keep building the momentum. We're on a real good run post the loss we had in January, so we want to keep building, keep making sure that we're there. And again, if we can give ourselves the best chance of that home semi-final, because as we alluded to, they're a fantastic bunch to play in for. So if we can get that 5 points and see what happens down the road, that's exactly what we're looking for.
I was chatting to some fans in that second half, and one of them said to me, I think this is one of the best games of rugby I've ever watched. Mo, you're nodding along there. I mean, that's exactly what we want people to watch in the Premier 15s, right? End-to-end rugby that was so competitive and physical.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I think at times on commentary I was questioning whether Bristol just need to put boot to ball, but the way that they just managed to find a way and come back into the game, and how many times the lead changed, the different tries, the variety of the ways we were scored, the different line breaks. Defensively, I think Saracens, obviously the first part of that second half where they were just marching Bristol back, it just had everything. It was a privilege to watch and to commentate on, to be honest with you.
Agreed. A privilege to present as well, I must say. That was a really great game. Thank you very much for joining us and watching that match. Make sure that you're following Premier 15s on all social media channels, and don't stop watching. This league is getting so exciting, and as it reaches the semi-finals and final, it's getting brilliant. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you, Mo. Thank you, Alex.
And Gloucester Heart will be back in the game.